Tobirama is the best Hokage, and here is why.
And even if you succeed and you get your revenge, what will you have then? Nothing. Emptiness.
So, we have there's so many Hokages through history. We've got Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Tsunade, Kakashi, and Naruto. Oh my god, I'm Minato. How did I forget Minato? Sorry. How did I forget Minato? My fault. I'm Minato as well. I'm so sorry. Minato's my favorite. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but getting into the video, right? Let's talk about why Tobirama is the best Hokage, right? Now, there's a lot of arguments right now. Listen to what I'm saying here. When I say the best Hokage, I mean the best as in impact he has had on the villagers. I don't mean the strongest. You know, you ever done an English test and tell you to listen to the words and look at the words they say? Yeah, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying he's the best, not the strong. The strongest is obviously clearly Naruto. You know, Naruto at his peak is stronger than Hashirama, obviously, right? We know that. For me anyway, the guy that's had the most impact is Tobirama. So let's talk about the impact Tobirama had. So firstly, when Konoha was first built, right, obviously Hashirama was a big part of that with his wood style and all that, but obviously they needed to pick a Hokage, and the two candidates were obviously Madara and Hashirama ultimately ended up becoming the first Hokage. But it was Tobirama that suggested they do a political vote. This political vote, right, is used in the real world. You know, if you're going to pick a prime minister, a president, whatnot, right, you'll allow the public to vote. And it's no different with Naruto, right? So Tobirama basically starts Hashirama. Instead of just making Madara the Hokage, how about we put it down to a vote and let the people of the village vote for who they want to be Hokage and who they want to lead them. And obviously Hashirama ended up becoming Hokage. Now why I put this down, because this political vote is still being used to this day. You know, when Hiruzen stepped down as Hokage, they did a vote, the same political vote system, to see who would become the fourth Hokage. And that was out of Minato, Orochimaru, Jiraiya was considered as well, but obviously Minato ended up becoming the fourth Hokage. Oh yeah, Fugaku was considered as well, but obviously Minato ended up becoming the fourth Hokage. So yeah, already at number one, we've got an important part of Konoha's Hokage choosing system that is still being used to today, that was created by Tobirama. So, for my second point, the Konoha police force. Now, obviously, I know it's not the same Konoha police force because I think it's the Fuma, you know, F-U-M-A, Fuma clan that obviously run the Konoha police force. But back in the day, it was intended for the Uchiha to be that way, and that was because, right, when Madara died, Tobirama took his body and analyzed his body and basically just analyzed how it could be used in the best way for the Leaf Village. So obviously, even though Tobirama, you know what? People clown on Tobirama for hating the Uchihas, right, and call him a racist or whatnot, right? But he had good reason to hate them. They were his sworn enemies for years, responsible for the deaths of a lot of people from his clan, right? Even though that was a fact, maybe he didn't want the Uchiha in Konoha, right? But he accepted the wishes of his brother, allowed the Uchihas to obviously be in the village, and even gave them a way to have a big role in the village. And that big role was the police force. Now, with the police force, basically they would stop little crimes that happened throughout the village, right? And Tobirama basically judged and saw that Uchiha's genjutsu could be used for stopping small criminals. And that is true, because if you've got a criminal making some ruckus, the best way, the average criminal is not going to be genjutsu resistant. So slap them in a genjutsu, right? They're going to be knocked out, and the situation is going to be calmed and settled with quickly using genjutsu. So again, Tobirama displaying his brilliance and his intelligence to be able to see that, use that in a way to help the village out. For my third point, we have the Konoha Ninja Academy. Now, the whole reason why Hashirama and Madara made the village is so kids wouldn't have to go to war. And Tobirama, further helping that, made the Konoha Academy. Now, the academy is there to basically, one, to stop young kids going into war. Because you remember, during the War in States period, kids that as young as the age of 6 were fighting on battlefields. So to stop that, Tobirama created the academy. And the academy, in order to be able to go and fight, you have to graduate from the academy. or if you don't graduate, you can't be a ninja. So that was basically to stop inexperienced and young kids from having to go into war. Also, he created the tuning exams, another way to stop young kids going into war. Basically, to be sent on harder missions, right? So basically more typically C, B, and sometimes A ranked missions, you have to be a tuning, and a tuning is basically a step up from againing, right? So he created these tuning exams to basically, one, stop young kids again from having to go into war. So just remember how many lives Tobirama probably saved by creating these things. And two, to make sure, again, the ninjas that were being sent on high level missions were at least experienced and there'd be a less chance of them dying. So again, like I said before, look how many lives Tobirama has probably saved just by creating and thinking of these ways to stop young kids from going into war and to also train them up to be fully fledged proper ninjas, right? Now we're going to move into his techniques. The shadow clone jutsu, the jutsu that is used by the main character of the show, Naruto. Now I put techniques on here because these techniques have been a big part of Konoha, but a big part of the ninja world. The shadow clone jutsu is still used to this day in Boruto. So Tobirama has created a jutsu that will probably last to the end of time in, you know, just in the Naruto Boruto universe, will just last to the end of time. Such a revolutionary jutsu. Now, if you don't know what the shadow clone jutsu is, basically you can make copies of yourself. Basically, Naruto might take like 2% of his chakra and put it into another one of himself. And the cool thing about the shadow clone jutsu is the shadow clones can then make more clones. And if you have a large amounts of chakra like Tobirama would have had being a senju, you can create thousands and thousands of shadow clones, or in Naruto's case being an Uzumaki, and also having the Nine Tails chakra as well, was able to create thousands and thousands of shadow clones. So, you know, the shadow clone jutsu used at its highest level is one of the best and most effective jutsus to use. Now, moving on to the Flying Raijin. The Flying Raijin ability that was probably made famous by Minato, but we gotta remember, Tobirama created this jutsu. Now, this jutsu, Flying Raijin, is basically you place a marking on someone, and wherever you put, or someone or an object, and wherever you place that marking, you can go to. And the jutsu basically allows you to move at basically the speed of light, basically. You know, you've seen all the Minato clips and the Tobirama clips. I don't really have to explain it too much, but this jutsu, again, used at its highest level, like we've seen with Minato. Minato was able to use this jutsu to stop a tail beast bomb, right? Let that sink in. A tail beast bomb from the strongest tailed beast. So already, right, this jutsu used at its highest level is an S rank jutsu, and this jutsu puts someone like Minato, right? Put Minato. I don't mean to say someone like Minato, sorry, because that makes him seem like he's bad, but it puts Minato on Kage level with that jutsu, right? And when used in the war arc, if two people use the Flying Raijin, which I wish we got to see more, right, they can both teleport to each other's spots. The Flying Raijin was also used to basically Obito got Rasengan twice by the same jutsu, by the father and son, you know, when Minato did it to him and then Naruto did it to him during the war arc. So there's, you know, I don't really say too much about the Flying Raijin, right? But again, he's created two S rank jutsus right there. Now, for my final point here, and to bring this video to a close, we have the Edo Tensei. The Edo Tensei jutsu, if not one of the best jutsus ever, if not the best jutsu made, is at least top 3 jutsus made. A jutsu that can bring the dead back to life. Let's talk about how this jutsu sets up, right? You have to get a dead body, right? You have to find a dead person, so, you know, just go ahead, you know, with your kunai, go kill someone.
1,000 years of death!
Quickly, simple, right? So once you've got that dead body, you can perform the Edo Tensei jutsu. So say, obviously, as long as their body is in the Pure Lands. If their body is not in the, if their body is maybe in the Shimitomi's stomach, or if their body has been, you know, stabbed by something like Itachi's Yadame blade, they can't be brought back, right? But let's say they've just died naturally and they've gone to the heavens, right? This jutsu can bring anyone back, and used at its highest level, again, when Kabuto brought back every and everyone that had been throughout Naruto history, right? As we've seen with Kabuto, it's a very strong jutsu, and bring them back, and these characters will have about at least 80% of the it will be at least 80% as strong as they were when they were alive. And when you're bringing people back like Madara, you know, Hashirama, you know, all the rest of the previous Kage, it's a strong ability. And, you know, and was basically the whole reason why Konoha, well, sorry, basically the whole reason why the whole allied shinobi forces were able to turn the tide against Madara and Obito, was because they brought back, obviously, the rest of the Kage. But that's where we're going to end the video. That's why I think Tobirama is the best Hokage, just for the fact that he's probably had the biggest impact on just the Naruto world in general. He's probably had the biggest impact, or at least one of the biggest impacts, next to people like Tsunade and other Senju. I guess the Senju are just geniuses, aren't they? But look, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Tell me who you think is the best Hokage, or tell me if I've changed your mind. Also, make sure to share this video, you know, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching. And this has been Anime K, and peace. I'm out.